Hey there, Cosmic Warriors, and welcome to this live reading session with me, Hannah. So I'm just going to wait a little bit to see who joins this live. It's a Thursday, so we shall see. Jupiter Day today, and Jupiter, of course, is in Cancer, so quite a fertile Jupiter. Let's see who joins, who makes it onto the live. And if you're interested in a mini reading, okay, so these are mini readings, the instructions are down below. And the ways in which you book is you go to the link, and then I'll need your birth information, of course. Hi to another somebody. Pretty cool name. Hello, hello, hello. And yes, happy full moon in Capricorn. Yes, amazing. X9. Happy full moon in Capricorn to you too. Yes, how are you doing today? Are you feeling this full moon? What's the energy like for you? Certainly a time of clarity, right? When we think about our efforts and our hard work, our dedication. In fact, the full moon is taking place very, very close to my natal Venus and Neptune, I believe. So that's interesting because I have been gaining a lot of clarity about my creativity lately. Hello to Helena, welcome. Oh, and just to clarify, yes, Venus and Neptune are in the 5th house of my chart. Yes, welcome. If any of you are interested in a mini reading, you can book below. Heavily and heavenly. I love that. I love that choice of words. Yes, that's it's a good way to put it as well. Let me just see. Yeah, as a reminder, if you do want to book with me for this particular session, the instructions are down below and they are mini readings. And then, of course, if you do like what I have to offer or if you want a full reading, you can go to hannahselsewhere.com. But we'll see. We'll see who maybe joins. I think during the week can be a bit more challenging. That is for sure. Because not many people come on during the week. I get that yous are probably quite busy, but I wanted to go for it and see because it is Jupiter Day. So, and it's also the full moon in Capricorn, like you just said. But I can wait. And even if not, then I can come back on Sunday, you know? Can come back on Sunday. And that's usually a better day for live readings anyway. Shall see who joins. Even if you want to talk about the full moon or anything else whilst we are waiting for other people to maybe join in. And how are you doing today? What is your day like? And how are you even feeling about Uranus and Gemini? Are you feeling that energy? I'm just gonna chill and wait because seriously, I'm good. If even no one is on for this one, because that means I can enjoy the rest of my day too. I have some chocolate waiting for me. Could be a sign. Could be a sign to just rest. Let me see. Wow. Crazy. Uh-huh. Well, only three people. I am coming to realize that during the week, do you know what as well? It is the summer. It is the summer. And I'm sure people are on holiday or they're spending their time enjoying themselves. They're not really thinking about coming on here and getting a reading with me. So, but we'll wait. And then sure, even if there aren't any people that book with this particular session, then I can remove this one. And like I said, we can do this again on Sunday. I feel like Sundays, I'm learning, I think Sundays are better days. Sundays. But I'll wait. I will be like a projector and I'll wait and I'll wait and I'll wait. Though, do you know what? Whilst I am waiting, I could just be saying this for nothing, but just to share that there will be the White Moon Selena signs coming tomorrow. And then there will be the White Moon Selena houses coming the next day. Oh, okay. We have a couple of people. Amazing. Yay. Brilliant. Right. Let's do this. Firstly, we have Helena. Thank you so much, Helena. And then we also have, let me just check your details. We have Elizabeth. Great. Let's get started. So I am just going to enter in your information. Helena. Let me just jot down your name so I can stay on track. Okay. I will be 2 moments whilst I enter your information. Okay. Yep. And yeah. Just double checking your information, Helena. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, great. Oh, go back. Go to this one. Yes. Yeah, so like I was saying, whilst I am getting Helena's chart ready, like I was saying, White Moon Selena through the signs will be up tomorrow. And then White Moon Selena through the houses will be up on Saturday. And just to let you know, there's a slight glitch, right? With the houses one, there's a slight glitch for White Moon Selena in the first house and the second house. So I'm sorry about that. It's annoying. It is annoying when there are glitches and lack of connection and things. It's annoying for me as well. And yeah, usually I would go and redo the whole thing, but I just can't. But yeah, my apologies. The majority of the descriptions are signed. It's just, yeah, little things like that annoy me. But I hope you been learning about White Moon Selena in astrology. Certainly isn't talked about a lot. So, okay, let me get your chart ready here, Helena. Okay, I have a question for you first, though, Helena, if that's okay. Is this your first time having your chart read? Have you had your chart read before? Do you have a question about your chart? Yeah, let me know. Also, I can basically do a mini reading for you right here, right now, and do it like that, where you don't necessarily have to ask a question. But yeah, I just wanted to check in with you to see what your experience is like with having your chart read. And then to confirm with Elizabeth, I will be talking about your chart next. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Also, Helena, if you're not there right now, or basically you don't want to answer, I can go ahead and read your chart and this will be here ready for you. I'm kind of saying this because I know that this is recorded and it will be up on the YouTube channel for you to look at and reflect upon more if you need to. Okay, I'm going to go ahead then and read your chart. I won't be looking at the chat whilst I read, so to let you know that. Okay. I've read your chart before. Well, my apologies for not remembering that I have not read your chart before. I do apologize for that. Was that also with the live readings, or did you book a reading through the website? I usually try to remember the charts that I read. I do. I try to remember. Where should you live? Okay, I'll have a look at your astrocartography map. I'll have a look at it. No problem. Just give me a moment so I can load that and then we'll get into it. Yeah, brilliant. So to confirm, I will not be looking at the chat from this point forward, okay? And I will check in after. So I'm going to look now at your map. So give me a minute or two. Thank you. Mercury. Night. Night. Jupiter. Mars. Okay. Jupiter. Jupiter, Jupiter, Jupiter. Where are you, Jupiter? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mention that if we are to look at the Mercury descendant line, that line runs through, if I just get some info here, so parts of Texas, say Houston, Texas, also parts of Oklahoma. We see Kansas City being activated, Iowa being activated, St. Paul, Minnesota, parts of Canada, so even close to Ontario, Winnipeg, in between there. Yeah. So if you can kind of think about the destinations within those regions, those areas. But basically, with the Mercury descendant line, what this can indicate is, well, these destinations, these locations could be quite beneficial for you. It could be client wise, customer wise, sales wise, retail. You even have Mercury in the seventh house in your chart. So already I see this as you being quite good with words, especially thinking on your feet and knowing how to attend to people's needs in a very quick way, coming up with solutions very quickly. Maybe even this can suggest rules that involve emergency services or supporting others through coaching or through fitness, because Mercury is in the sign of Aries. Maybe this is also about protection or defense, security, those types of roles. So basically, what I'm trying to say here is those destinations could very well invite particular working opportunities, partnership opportunities, right? And even we see the likelihood of a lot of social interactions, and even I would say here, the part of those destinations that can quench your thirst for adventure, for freedom, for spontaneity. See, if I was to think about this a little bit deeper, because you have so much Aries in the seventh house, especially Saturn there, I'm thinking that you are someone who prides yourself on your independence and your freedom, your ability to do your own thing, even though you do have this Libra rising opposite. And with Libra on the rising, this can suggest that you are relationship orientated, right? That you can come across as naturally graceful or cooperative and diplomatic. You basically want to get along with other people, but you're also not going to do that at the detriment, at the expense of yourself. So, to me, what this implies is that you are on this journey, right? This is about your purpose. This is about your life's mission with the sun and Saturn. So, you're on this journey to really, I suppose, in a way, discover what you want, your path, your individual path. And the other thing, then, to further add, interestingly, if you just give me a moment, okay, I'm going to go back over to your astrocartography chart. I'm going to check this live a second because, yeah, I don't want anything to freeze or anything. Okay, great. So give me a moment. We also see that the Sun descendant line and the Saturn descendant line, those lines actually run through parts of Florida. Okay, I'm just looking a little bit more. Yeah, Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, Washington, D.C. is pretty activated there. Yeah, Virginia Beach is close to there. Charlotte, Georgia, I would even put in with this as well. West Virginia, Pennsylvania. So yeah, New York, Toronto. Interesting. So we do see those activations. Well, what does this suggest then with those activations? To me, this could suggest a great deal of business. We think about business deals, business contracts, and you to an extent thriving, right? Thriving within those particular areas because of business, because of clients, because you're getting those sales, because of the whole retail stuff that I previously mentioned, or because of your ability to motivate others or to inspire them, right? Um, so there is that, but I will also say, like anything Saturn, this is about your effort. This is about the work that you put into. There is still going to be this potentiality for having to push or having to overcome, having to face limitations and to overcome obstacles, particularly, right? Having to overcome obstacles. So, a lot of this could very well indicate that those destinations invite opportunities related to your career, your profession. And let me look at your chart again here. Yeah, that's interesting because the secondary progressed midheaven is in Leo. So the midheaven is so much about the online space, especially in the 11th house. And I just caught there that from looking at the chat, Helena, that you have an eBay. So that's really interesting. Yeah. Um you have an eBay. So with that, I see the secondary progressive midheaven in Leo in the 11th house being a big manifestation of this, this basically your ability to shine online or to create something of your own, to produce something of your own. And then when we look to the very ruler of the midheaven, that is the sun is there with Saturn in Aries. So that could be about greater dedication and hard work and everything. But, I'm thinking also because of that Mercury line that's more west, right? It's if those kinds of areas would not bring as much struggle or as much restriction, right? Because it would be out of the sphere of influence from Saturn. So that's just a suggestion. Um Also, let me just have another look at your travel chart. Okay, let me look. Neptune. Where is Neptune? Okay, so Neptune then is also pretty nearby, interestingly. Yeah, Neptune is nearby those two lines that I just mentioned, so the Sun line and the Saturn line. Neptune can suggest, especially in the fifth house for you, it can suggest more of this creative spin and also how you might create really beautiful pieces, or you might sell really beautiful pieces, or very much outside of the box items. You may want to innovate or reinvent things or try new things, experiment with new things. But then again, because this is Neptune, there can be this uncertainty or this confusion or this fog. You even have Neptune square Mars in your chart in the 8th house. So this can suggest maybe some challenges to do with seeing yourself clearly, seeing the vision clearly, or seeing your direction clearly, or there could be challenges to do with your energy levels or your drive or your focus, especially whenever it does feel like, I'm down on my luck, or things are not working out for me, and why is it not moving the way I want it to move? But I'm just going to say a couple more points here. But we also see that Jupiter and Venus are in the 6th house in your chart. And so this to me is quite the combination, because even though you may experience times of frustration, or you feel fed up or you feel like giving up, those bodies in the 6th house remind you that you are on the right path, right? There's something here about not selling yourself short. There's something here about not being so hard on yourself and seeing your gifts, appreciating your gifts, your style, your beauty, your grace, your love for projects, your love for maybe your schedules or your routines, leaning on the spiritual, remembering the spiritual, and then it's not all material, right? So you can come back to that point. And at the same time, the North Node is in Virgo in the 12th house. So you're actually coming to learn in this life to not hide, to not bury, to not escape, uh, to not avoid in a way where you don't face the reality of the situation. So you're actually coming to learn in this life how to integrate greater qualities, greater traits of, okay, let's actually make a plan. Let's actually see how you can ground the spiritual, or you can make your certain spiritual practices more practical, more everyday. This is about the daily things that you do, those little habits that you do. So there is that. And just to further add, the North Node is traveling through the sixth house right now for you over the next year. So this is going to invite some interesting, new, exciting opportunities to do with work, your schedules, your routines, especially because Jupiter and Venus are involved. Jupiter is quite a beneficial planet for you in your chart because you do have a day chart. So I do see up ahead throughout the next year, throughout the next 6 months, even here, Helena, that, well, matters could very well open. It's like the floodgates, they open and there's so much abundance, or it could feel like a calling, right? A call to rise, a call to really align yourself with your soul's mission, your soul's purpose. And with that, yeah, I'm trying to think, is there anything else that was coming to my mind that I wanted to share with you, but I didn't? I think, oh, the last thing is remember that your Saturn return will be coming up very soon too. Yeah, over the next coming years, like I would say 2027 or so, you're going to really feel this. And what I'm going to say, whatever you're building, whatever you're working on right now, this is about remembering your ability to lead, your ability to take charge, to be courageous. There are going to be massive foundations and structures that will be put in place for you that could be very supportive. And you may be really glad that you didn't give up or that you were dedicated. Okay. So, Helena, thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That is yours. Thank you. And okay, let me have a look. Brilliant. You just find out, oh, interesting. Well, definitely look more into it. There is a video on the channel about Saturn returns. It's actually specific for Saturn and Aries. So if you want to look that up, obviously that doesn't take into account your personal chart, but it's something to think about. There are some practical tips for Saturn return preparations. Right, now we're going to move on to Elizabeth, and I do want to say thank you so much, Helena. Thanks for booking. Wishing you all the best as well as you think about, oh, where would you like to move to? Could be exciting, could be really exciting. Okay. Oh, well, this is interesting. We have someone who was born the very next day. Wow, okay. Okay, that's interesting. Ba-dum-bum. Oh. Times. Thank you very much, Helena. Wishing you all the best. Okay. Income. You are broke AF. Okay, let's have a look, Elizabeth. And reminder, everybody, these are mini readings, okay? They are mini readings. If you wish to book a full reading with me, you can go to my website, hannahselsewhere.com. And if you do want to book a mini reading for this particular session, the instructions are down below. You go to the link, and then I will need your time of birth, your place of birth, and your date of birth. Let me know if you have a question as well. Radio, I'm going to present this, Elizabeth. That is so interesting. Nice. Okay. So Elizabeth, you are the another somebody. I get it. Okay. Let's have a look. Yeah, how interesting is that? Such similar placements. You were born a day apart. So, Elizabeth, let's break this down. You say that you hold on, sorry, I need to check this comment. So, Abhay, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. So the way this works is you go to the link below, you basically book for a mini reading, and then you can put into PayPal your time of birth, place of birth, and your date of birth. I'll need that information. And then I can read your chart live. Mini readings, these are mini readings. And then if you're interested in booking a full reading with me, you can go to my website, hannahselsewhere.com. Thank you. Now, I'm going to look away from the chat as I explore Elizabeth's chart. Thank you for your patience. Ooh, you know what? Let's look at transits. Yeah. And let's think about other... 30, 29, 20, 28, 27. Okay. Right. What I am going to say for you in particular, Elizabeth, is something pretty significant happened not too long ago, as the South Node connected with your ascendant quite strongly. So this would have been maybe a couple months ago, a good few weeks ago, but essentially what you are being pulled towards, called to do right now is to release, is to let go in some way, shape, or form when it comes to anything that is overly stressy, nervy, restless, the part of you that can be overly correcting or fault finding, or you feel like you need to fix, compulsive fixing, compulsive helping other people, or overcomplicating things. So with the North Node right now in your 7th house and traveling through that area of your life for the next year, what you're actually being called toward a great deal is to try your best to center yourself, to be calm from within, to trust, to surrender. And I know that that can be particularly challenging, especially when we are talking about money. Whenever we are talking about the very thing that we need to survive, to live, right? And at the same time, this is still the message, right? This is so much about what the North Node in Pisces suggests. Give me a moment, because I'm also gonna look up your human design chart. I want to see what type you are in human design. I like to look at human design to give me another layer. Just be patient with me, and thank you for being patient with me. What part? Yep. That is that. Da-da, 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 da-da. And okay, that should be it. Let's have a look. Loading. Oh, I need to put in this live. Yeah, that's so interesting. That is exactly what I thought. So, yeah, you are a projector in human design, and I'm not going to get into a lot of information about human design. This is an astrology reading, but my reasoning for looking this up is because that's so much in alignment with what the North Node in Pisces is about, right? Especially in your case, as someone who may be high performing, as someone who is always trying to improve, and you're trying to really think about, how to strive for betterment. It's that betterment, it's that improvement, it's that refinement with Virgo. So with you being a projector, a big part of what it means to be a projector is, yes, one, it's to study, it's to do a lot of research, it's to master a skill, it is to improve, it is to refine. But another big part of being a projector is to know your energy levels, is to know when you've pushed yourself too far, is to know whenever you're maybe pushing for responses or pushing to be seen, pushing to be validated, pushing to be recognized. So this in a way is a big, it's like a spiritual message, right? Because with Pisces, Pisces is such a spiritual sign. And I'm thinking because the North Node is going to align with your money planet, right? Venus rules the second house for you in your chart. Venus is going to align with your money planet over the next coming, I would say, 6 months, 8 months, something like that. Because of the North Node doing that, this is where I think it's being open to a new horizon. It's being open to a new relationship, a new opportunity of some kind. And that, furthermore, is interesting because there will be the new moon in Virgo that will happen at the beginning of the season. And that's around 24th of August, something like that. And then there will be also the solar eclipse in Virgo to close the season, and that will be around about 22nd of September. So those points will activate your first house of new beginnings, your identity, your goals, new chapters, basically, new chapters. And you already have the North Node in Virgo there. So it's almost like, because this is the opposite of where the nodes are right now, it's almost like by you leaning into greater serenity, that within itself can catapult you, it can push you into a new horizon. And that's the thing about Pisces. You're reminded that the universe works in really, really mysterious ways. And that when it comes to this whole stuff to do with maybe worrying about money or worrying about resources, your belongings, etc. Yes, a part of it is to be proactive, a part of it is to be somewhat mindful, but another part of it is to ask yourself truly, are you are you worrying because that's what you're used to doing, as that's what you're used to? Are you stressing over things that actually there's already a plan in place for that? And I don't I don't want to guide you in a way by saying, oh, you should just do nothing. You should just, sit about and wait. Yes, to an extent, with being a projector, it is important to rest. It's important to take it easy and to not push so much. But the proactive part of this is to learn, is to study, is to master something. So I'm thinking, what could this be for you? And we see that Mercury, your chart ruler, is in Aries. So you do have a lot of this eighth house stuff going on. I'm wondering about studies, education tied to the occult, the paranormal, esoteric stuff. Metaphysical stuff. I'm also thinking about you transforming your very mindset and all the stuff that you can basically learn about and get ahead with. And also, I'm thinking about how you speak to yourself, messages of motivation, encouragement, inspiration, believing in yourself. And that's interesting because you also have Saturn and the Sun in the eighth house, and that conjunction that can manifest as this restriction or being very hard or um, finding it difficult to see another way forward. But I am also thinking here that this is where great focus and great determination comes in. Now, interestingly, Saturn is in the eighth house right now, so it's transiting the eighth house for you, and it will turn retrograde very soon for the next few months. And I'm thinking with this particular transit, well, the eighth house is about debt. The eighth house is about other people's money, other people's resources, having to pay people, right? Having to owe people money in some way, shape, or form, or having to pay off a kind of um, a loan, for instance. So this is where your greatest challenge to an extent is going to be. It's about your relationship with money, but also how it is that you pay back other people's money or how it is that you can get yourself out of debt. This could require well, it is going to require effort. It is going to require maybe a strategy, a plan, thinking things through better. That could be a major theme, especially as Saturn aligns with Mercury for you over the next coming year or two. So, yeah, this is about putting a plan in place, being strategic, moving somewhat slow, remembering that, right? And that's beneficial with Mars being in Taurus. So there is that because Mars in Taurus is more of a slow mover. It's a very steady, firm, influence. And when it comes to your energy, your drive, I do see this as you being quite consistent. Having said that, because Mars is making a square to Neptune in your chart, there's something here about your health. There's something here about the inconsistencies related to your health, your diet, your wellness. So, hey, maybe this is what even Pluto is trying to offer you because Pluto right now is on your Neptune. I'm thinking that you're experiencing some type of transformation to do with your wellness, to do with your health right now. And that is it's a challenging spot. It is a challenging spot because of the square to Mars. But it's also a spot of empowerment. It's also a time for you to grow in your resilience or to come up with solutions, practical solutions that work for you. That can be really beneficial. And then to bring this back to what I was saying a moment ago with the new moon and the solar eclipse new moon happening in your first house come Virgo season, that I think is going to maybe activate a type of turning point for you. It's going to activate a time of revelation, a time of really taking things seriously for the future when we think about your health, when we think about your diet, vitality. My goodness, the first house is so much about our vitality. That's important. That's important. So I'm thinking this is about the practical everyday things that you can do to support yourself. Start small. This is what's coming through. It's start small. The last thing I'm going to say here is you have Pluto and the moon in the fourth house, and you are in this fourth house activation year, right? So the fourth house is activated for the entire year for you because you're 27 years old, 30, 29, 20. Yeah, you're 27 years old. So really what I'm going to say is the challenge is to not obsess, and be really intensely worried and to ruminate and to go over the whole thing and to control and control and control. Okay. And I know that maybe hearing that, it's sort of like, but you have no idea of my situation and what's happening. Even the moon is making that square to Venus, and that can suggest this lack of boundaries, this lack of direction, or the emotional block or challenge to do with finances, or believing even in your worth, or believing that you have the skills that you need, or that you're deserving of recognition, these kinds of things. But I'm also going to just finish this off by saying that moon Pluto conjunction is also a point of great strength, great inner, it's inner strength. It's your ability to rise even through the most challenging daunting of times, saying to yourself, no, like, I will do this. I am going to keep going. I'm going to keep fighting for myself. So remember that you have the passion. My goodness, you have so much fire in you, so much fire. Maybe you yourself are slightly scared of how much fire you have, because it's almost like there's so much of it and you want to get it out, you want to release it. So maybe my suggestion is, if I'm to think about how to guide you, place your fire into something that really does lift you up. Place your fire into those kinds of projects. I promise this is the last thing I'm going to say, but Mercury retrograde is coming up. It's going to happen in the next couple of days. In the next couple of days, Mercury will retrograde until August time. Coming into August, use that as an opportunity. I recommend using it as an opportunity, Elizabeth, to go within, think about what excites you, what speaks to your soul, what speaks to your heart. Okay. All of these things connect with money, is what I'm trying to get at here, right? Okay, let me have a look. Thank you very much, Elizabeth. I'm just reading here. Description. I pronounced correctly. Okay, good. A firefighter. You're working to be a firefighter. Anything to get a pay rise in the meantime. Eventually, into. Oh my goodness! Fire! That is incredible. It requires a lot of physical training. Okay, see, yes, we love this because that is so Aries. That's so Martian, right? And what I mean by this is, yeah, Aries can manifest as, especially Saturn in Aries, that can manifest as your profession within emergency rules. And then also, I was saying about the fire, like, yeah, you have so much stamina. You have so much like physical energy. So there is that to consider, especially with Pluto conjunct the moon. And then also the trine to Mercury. Okay, amazing. Anyway, so that's definitely you now. Thank you very much, Elizabeth. And feeling like you're not making progress. Just yeah. So I'm just gonna say here, Elizabeth, with the projector energy, like from looking at your chart, you have so much activation in this root center, and also in the ego center. So it's clear to me that you have a lot of drive, a lot of this self-starter influence, right? You have the ability to motivate yourself, but it is also about recognition with being a projector. And because you're an emotional authority, it's about making sure that your emotional waves are more sort of calm and regulated before you make a decision. Anyway, that's you. And David, hi David, welcome. Have not seen you on a live in a while. Welcome. I hope you're doing good. And we have someone else who has booked in. Thank you very much. Let's see. Let me have a look. Yes, we have Eduardo. Welcome to you, Eduardo. I am entering your information. That's why I'm going to be quiet for a moment. Okay, double checking this information. Spiritual gifts. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Also, a reminder, folks, these are mini readings. If you would like to book a full reading with me, hannahselsewhere.com. But of course, I do appreciate you for the live. Okay, Eduardo, you said this is the first time. Okay, so is this your first time having your chart read? I'm just curious. I am so curious. Uh-huh. Oh, interesting. Okay, well, welcome. Let's see. Let's have a look for you. And you want to know, let me see, spiritual gifts you want to know about. And you also want to know about money and where to live. Just to highlight, of course, we only have so much time in a mini reading. So do forgive me if I don't touch on every single point, but we will give this a go. Let me grab your travel map. Okay, let's have a look at this map. Okay, Sun ascendant, Saturn, Venus, Mercury, the Moon, Jupiter. This is a night chart. So night chart, Saturn, okay. Night chart, Venus, okay. Kind of evens that out a bit. And night chart, where's Mars? Mars and Jupiter. Okay, let's have a look up higher. All right, yeah, Washington, Seattle. Okay, let's see here. How am I gonna enter into this? The first thing, well, first thing that's really, really jumping out of me about your chart, and I get that this is your first time having your chart read, so the first thing is that you have oh my gosh, you have so much Capricorn in you. Like, you are one of the most Capricorns of Capricorns. Of course, the sun and moon are not there, but every other part. Okay, what does this mean though? What does it mean to be so heavily Capricorn? Well, first thing is that you are a highly self-sufficient individual. You are a very dedicated, disciplined, hard worker. When you set your mind towards a particular goal, and that goal could take a very long time to achieve, you have the stamina. You have a lot of grit and determination. Now, the other thing though is, whenever I looked up your human design chart, and I know this is an astrology reading, but I was curious. You're actually a projector in human design. So what I'm thinking is, you can indeed master a particular study, master a particular subject. And that is fascinating because you've got Mercury, which is the planet of intellect, it's the planet of learning. It's conjunct the ascendant for you. So where you're located, right? So basically where you're born, you've got this Mercury, Saturn, Venus stuff going on there. And that can suggest that that particular destination can involve a lot of study, research, dedicating yourself to your craft. and then becoming a professional within your field. And such a field, such a an area could be about, hey, it could be about construction, it could be about engineering, it could be tied to architecture. But I'm also even thinking about teaching here, right? So to become a professional teacher or a mentor or becoming just an authority in some way, hey, could also be tied to the arts, something more creative or visual, right? Like visual and creative and artistic roles, or could involve heavily media or dancing or music, right? Because Venus is also there. However, Venus is retrograde. It is retrograde and it's also conjunct Saturn. So, something that you're also coming to learn in this life is how to value your gifts. It's how to value your gifts. It's how to recognize your gifts. It's how to recognize your looks, your attractiveness, your appeal, your ability to influence other people, right? I'm going to say this. I am wondering, is it that sometimes people may think that you can come off really, really strong, as if you have so much, it could be so much passion. It could be that you have this way of holding attention within the room or being a bit of an authority within the room, or you just naturally take the lead within the room. But maybe there is some resistance to that. There's resistance to your influence. And so I'm thinking that, okay, it's not about dimming yourself, so to speak. It's not about saying, oh well, I should play small or I shouldn't do that. This is more about recognition, right? Everything about being a projector is about recognition. It's to be recognized for your gifts. And this, haha, this leads me on to your spiritual gifts. What are they, right? You want to know about your spiritual gifts. And if we are to think about how Neptune is conjunct the ascendant, well, your spiritual gifts could very well involve making what you visualize, what you dream about, a reality. Neptune in Capricorn can be very beneficial for having this vision and being so clear about it. And you align everything in your life with that vision. It's all about those practical steps that you take to align yourself with it. Having said that, yes, we also see that Neptune is opposing Chiron. So there could also be something here about you feeling a bit guarded or protective or defensive, especially when other people oppose you. They oppose your vision. I'm thinking even about the relationship that maybe you currently have with your parents, or you have had with your parents at some stage throughout your life. So, this could be, for example, other people raining on your parade, other people saying, that's just a dream. That's just a fantasy. That's never going to happen. I think you should stay here. I think you should, you shouldn't really do anything outside of your comfort zone, so to speak. Even Jupiter is opposing Mars, and that can be this possible manifestation where you may have all of this energy, this drive, this passion, right? And you're like, I'm going to go for this. But there's also other people, right? Seventh house is others who might try to bring you back in. It's like, no, stay here, stay with us. I don't necessarily think this is a black and white thing. It's not about saying that those people are wrong and you're right. But this is where we see a bit of a challenging point. And then also, when we bring this back to spiritual gifts, I'm thinking that it's through your experiences, your life experiences with family members, even with, hey, this could be heavier stuff, right? Heavier stuff to do with family issues, concerns, struggles, their pain, all of those heavier things. This within itself can be massive for your spiritual gifts. I'm thinking because you can use those experiences, the things that you've lived through firsthand, to support you, to guide you in a way, or to guide other people. Guidance. Seventh house Jupiter. This is so much about even being a guide, emotionally guiding people through maybe their own pain, their own traumas, their own, hey, limitations. Boom. We go back to Capricorn. I am really thinking to myself here, Eduardo, that a big part of why you're here, a big part of your purpose in this life, your life's direction, is tied to that of building something that is long lasting, that is solid. Could be about entrepreneurship. It could be some kind of just a plan that benefits others. This is about bringing form and helping other people even navigate their own emotional struggles, their own emotional worries, to navigate those in practical ways. However, there is more, because we also see that the sun and the north node are in Aquarius in the second house. So when we think about even money, sure, a big part of your life path is about looking to money in unconventional ways, looking to it in terms of how can you think outside of the box, right? This is massive for you. So all the Capricorn could be about business, it could be about enterprise, entrepreneurship, it could be about working within a role and it is consistent and you're hardworking. But the sun and the north node in Aquarius say add a unique spin. Think about this differently. What is the vision you have? How can you get ahead of the curve? Everything with Aquarius is about you being ahead of the game. Because as so much of society goes one way, Aquarius goes, hold on a second, I'm going to go this way. I'm actually going to go this way because there's opportunity over this way. This could, for example, be for you finding a gap in the market, finding something that people are not doing yet. This is all about innovation. So to innovate when it comes to materials, to innovate when it comes to your money. So a couple of things I'm going to say. You did ask about the travel stuff too. Let me see. So I looked up here the sun north node lines, right? Aligning with what I just said with the Aquarius. Those lines run through there are parts of Mexico activated. There are parts of the south of the USA. So we see Dallas, Austin, Kansas City, Missouri, sorry, my pronunciation. Closer to Chicago as well, right? So there are certain areas. If you even look at your own astrocartography map, you'll be able to see those lines. So yeah, sun line, north node line, those destinations essentially could invite that innovation. They could be places where you feel more like, yes, I have so many ideas. I feel so inspired. It's time to innovate. It's time to try something new, totally outside of the box. And last thing I'm going to say is I looked up Seattle. Okay, so Seattle has Mars, no, Jupiter, actually, Jupiter and Chiron running through parts of Seattle. Hey, Seattle could be a place where there is a lot of emotional insight that comes through. Maybe there's something about family ties, or you have family who are from Seattle or live in Seattle, or you moved there with family, or it could be about finding a significant other or relating to someone new on a different level, and it's more emotionally supportive. It's very healing in a way. It's very nourishing for your emotions and for your well-being. And then also the Mars ascendant line runs through a part of there too. So that Mars influence, because you've got Mars in Capricorn, my goodness, Seattle, Washington, Portland, those kinds of areas could certainly be where you get to work. You build and build and build. However, I'm just going to say this, show caution doing that. I'm going to say with being a projector, it is important to be mindful of how much you push and push and push. The pushing, where you're forcing things to happen, you're forcing recognition, you're forcing success. It's not to say that you shouldn't ever, put yourself out there, or that you shouldn't look for particular roles, or you shouldn't study or learn. It's more about the energy in which you show up, and trying not to deplete yourself. Okay. But I will say, with the Aquarius Capricorn influence, you have a lot of ambition. Ambition just runs through your veins, and you're always thinking of new ways, which can really, really help you get ahead in life. Even the moon is in Taurus, and that suggests that your inner world is like an anchor, like your core. You can come back to center essentially anytime when life feels too much, or it's too chaotic, or it's too difficult. Come back to center with that Taurus influence in. So the moon in Taurus in the fifth house, that center point could be about, is this fun? Is this enjoyable? Is this making me happy? Remember that. Remember that. Anyway, Eduardo, there was a lot there, which I hope I was able to touch on, but that was your reading. Thank you so much. Oh, a little break then. We have a break because no one's booked in yet. We'll see if anybody else wants to join. Thank you so much. I hope it was helpful. And yeah, okay, great. It looks like it was on point for you. Happy days. Happy to see that. Hope it was helpful. If anybody else wants to book, you can, but I'm just going to chill for a couple of minutes. It's kind of good because then I can have a break. And I'm also going to say, because there are other people viewing, reminder, there is going to be a video tomorrow. It's going to be about White Moon Selena. Yeah, White Moon Selena through the signs. That'll be up tomorrow night. And then on Saturday, White Moon Selena through the houses will be up. And also, I want to highlight that I apologize for the White Moon Selena through the houses video, because there are slight glitches at the beginning. It's annoying, but it is what it is. You can still hear the majority of the placements. There are just a couple of glitches that I can't really resolve or fix. Oh, if you're still there, it's your Jupiter return as well. So that's a whole new cycle to do with relationships, family connections, family opportunities, travel opportunities with family, travel opportunities to see family. Yeah. Let me see. Oh, amazing. Hibiscus, welcome to you. Oh, you know what? I really enjoyed that series. That is one of my most favorite series on the channel. I feel so proud of that series. And you know what I'm actually going to do? So currently I'm working through my thumbnails. I want to change them, just make them look better. I have a lot of thumbnails to get through because there are so many videos. But for the physical appearance series, I'm thinking of changing it where I have maybe a little corner or like a section of the thumbnail, and it has some of the people who are featured in the video on the thumbnail. So I might try that. I gotta play around with it and see what works. But yeah, no, thank you so much. That series I love that. It was great to make. I love that I use people, just everyday people. Because I find with celebrities can have like plastic surgery and they can alter their face more so than the average person. So, yeah, I'm going to wait maybe a couple of minutes, and if anybody else wants to book in, they can. If not, that is completely fine too. I can go get my cup of tea, I can have a bit of chocolate. Uh my partner probably thinks I'm crazy for having tea in this heat, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how warm it is. Um yeah. I wish S was on, because I do have information to share with S, but maybe another time. Maybe S will be on Sunday or a different day. Ah, okay. So Salisi. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Yeah, I must. Let me see if I. Ah, yeah, nice. Yeah, I see. I see. Yeah, I've got the email. I've got your photos. Lovely, beautiful. I love it. Amazing, amazing. Oh, David. Okay, you have booked in. Nice. You've never. Oh, you've never had your chart read. Looking to an in the moment reading on life and direction. Ooh, okay, let's do it. Amazing. Just give me a second and then I can pull up your chart, okay? Salasi. Amazing. Thank you very much for reaching out. I appreciate it. And Jackie, basically, to book a mini reading, you go to the link below, and then I will need your birth information, your date of birth, time of birth, place of birth for the reading. These are mini readings live. And then also, just to let you know that if you want to book a full reading, you can do so on my website, hannahselsewhere.com. Okay, I am now going to enter in your information, David, and that is no problem. Got it, PM? Let's see. Okay. Okay, double checking your information. Okay. Okay. Oh, so why when? Oh, I'm sorry, Mive. That's not good at all. I'm sorry you're having to go through that. Well, I'm not sure who you're asking for, but yeah. And David, yeah, that's Josh's. That's his. Okay. So I will not be looking at the chat whilst I explore your chart, but I'll jump back on after I have read your chart. Okay. Okay. This is channel. What channel is that? 2034. Uh-huh. All right. Making sure I have it all. Cool. Nice. Give me a moment so I can explore your chart. Okay, I am going to basically break this down because this is your first time having your chart read. And I'm going to try and not get into it too deeply in a way and just deliver the information in more, hopefully a lighthearted way, but hopefully with some kind of insight at the same time. Okay, first and foremost here, David, you do have a Libra rising. So with Libra on the rising, what this can often suggest is you can come across as quite a likable person, as someone who is willing to get on with anybody. And you may also present as having quite a lot of patience for people or being quite rational, quite reasonable, and fair, quite fair. However, the other thing about this is you must be treated with fairness yourself. So, if you can, for example, sense that someone is being out of hand, if they are maybe speaking in a rude way, they're being aggressive, they're being highly disagreeable, then that's going to be a big trigger for you. That's going to be a big no. I mean, no, why would you act that way? That's not okay. You can also be quite big, so you can seek justice is what I'm trying to get at. You can seek justice and you want fairness. You stand for fairness and for people to basically cooperate in a way where, you know, people are, each person is able to be heard and each perspective is able to be heard. Naturally, there is more. There is more to you because when we locate your chart ruler, which is Venus, Venus is located in the sign of Pisces. Pisces is the mystical, the magical, the esoteric sign, the spiritual sign, the kind of dreamy sign. So, actually, with Venus in Pisces, this can suggest that you can come across at times as pretty calm and serene and laid back and maybe very accepting of people or very non judgmental of people. And also, you may need a lot of space, a lot of time away from people, honestly, right? You need time to properly recharge your energy levels to get away from the public. So even though you've got the Libra rising and it's very much about, oh, yeah, you know, good to see you or chatting away to people, really, you do need your personal space. And I think also this is about, if you can imagine Pisces acting as a sponge, right? So you can pick up a lot of people's emotions throughout the day or their fears, their worries, their problems, their issues, right? It's like you have this amazing way of not judging people as they do share, as they do open up. But that within itself can be a lot to hold. So the sponge is the idea, I suppose, is to wring it out. It's to look to your health practices as a way to do that. I think a big source of clearing space, clearing energy for you is via your health routines. It's via even routines in general. So your morning routines, your evening routines, the things that you even do during the day that can be so deeply beneficial. Yeah, this is where we see you thrive in many ways. You do really well, especially because you have something that is known as a night chart. And there's a whole rationale behind a day chart versus a night chart, but we're not going to get into that. But basically, with the night chart, Venus is this very pleasing body, if you will. And Venus is located right there next to the sun. And the sun is also in Pisces. So, what this further implies to me is that it's your daily routines, it's your habits where you're going to feel the most like yourself. You're going to thrive. You're going to feel really good. But naturally, whenever you're taken away from those things, whenever there is a disruption or there is a challenge, then this could be where irritation can set in. This could be where moods can set in. And maybe also your emotions, they can be stirred. They can be stirred, certainly. Though, furthermore, see how Mercury is making a square to Mars and to Jupiter. Even the North Node is involved. So, what does this mean? Let me break this down in simpler terms. Basically, Mars in Gemini says you are very creative, you have loads of ideas. Especially with that square to Mercury, right? Loads of ideas, loads of visions, loads of projects, loads of things that you're juggling, right? Gemini is the juggler of the zodiac. And with Pisces being the dreamer of the zodiac, it's almost like you have all these dreams and these visions and you want to do them all, especially because Jupiter is involved. Jupiter expands whatever it touches, but yet this can suggest that something needs to give, right? Because there can be, for example, overcommitting, overdoing it, maybe pushing yourself too far when we think about certain practices, projects. Also, this could be a case of you getting distracted, right? Being really distracted by things, or maybe being very sensitive to certain noises or um, certain things that you pick up. So I'm thinking here that a part of what the North Node in Pisces, right? The North Node is about our life's trajectory. It's about our purpose. You did ask about direction and things like that. Let me just double check the exact words that you used. Yeah, your life and your direction. Yeah. The North Node is about our direction. So in actuality, a big part of your direction is to try your best to ease the mind. Calm. It's like there's so many thoughts, so many ideas, so many things to worry about. Even with the moon in Gemini, right? Your inner world, there could be that inner tension, that emotional piece where you need to talk about your feelings, and that's good, right? It's like good, talk about your feelings, get them out. But also, I'm thinking with the North Node in Pisces, there's something here about greater calm, rest, ease, being a little bit kinder to yourself, perhaps. And maybe really asking yourself, does a certain thing have to be a particular way? Does it need to be fixed right now? Does it need to be attended to right now? Because here's the other thing, the South Node is in Virgo. The South Node is so much about what we're used to, it's the comfort zone for us. So, hey, South Node in Virgo suggests to me that actually you're a massive perfectionist. You like things the way you like them, right? And hey, that can be great. That can be really, really important for you. But whenever that stuff becomes to your detriment, whenever that stuff hinders your life, right, and it takes over and you spiral and you stress, the North Node in Pisces is so much about greater serenity. And what you're going to find over the next year, especially towards June, May, about May 2026, maybe a bit before then, what you're going to notice is that you are going to feel more in alignment with what I'm saying, but it's also going to require some releasing, shedding, letting go. It's like actually putting in the effort to, I suppose, in a way, what is it? Decondition, uncondition? I can't remember the exact term, but to basically decondition yourself in a way where you can use perhaps the new moon coming up and the solar eclipse coming up in Virgo. That's going to happen around August, September time. Use those lunations to your benefit as a way to maybe let go of a few projects or to let go of a few systems that they're not working. To me, especially with Jupiter in the middle, right? Jupiter is making that square to the nodes. Jupiter is really this point of, okay, what is your vision? What is your wider message? And that's a big part of truth. This is about truth. This is about aligning with what your beliefs are and how you wish to maybe expand and grow intellectually when it comes to study and learning and broadcasting, publishing, media, all those things. So Jupiter does act in this regard for you, in this way, shows up in this way for you. But equally, Jupiter can also show up as too many things. Like it's too many fingers, too many fingers in pie. I can't remember the term. Too many fingers in pies. I can't remember the term. I'm sorry. But anyway, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. It's just having too many things going on at once, right? And at the same time, it's still about finding your flow with a few things. So instead of maybe like 10 or 20 things, maybe it's just a few things. And I'm thinking with Uranus right now. So Uranus has basically came into Gemini recently, and boom, it's right there. It's on Jupiter and Mars for you. So we're seeing all of these like, oh my gosh, revelations. What am I doing? Like, what am I doing with my life? What is my purpose? What is my message? This is great. This is great because this is your opportunity to rebrand or to rethink or to re-strategize, right? Mars is about strategy, and in some way, shape, or form, there is a strategy to Mars. There is some kind of action. It's like, let's initiate, let's do something. So I'm really thinking that this could be quite exciting for you, in that this is your opportunity to think about the bigger picture, to think about your wider message. And at the same time, because Saturn right now is hanging out in your seventh house, right? The transit. Well, Saturn is going to station to turn retrograde over the next coming days. In the next while, it will retrograde in your seventh house until about September. Use the summertime to go over your plan, to go over, like, I don't know, for example, who have you worked for in the past, maybe client wise, customer wise, which kinds of opportunities have you gotten in the past, and you think, you know what, yeah, that's the kind of opportunity that I thrived in, or I felt really good about, I could take the lead within, right? It's about reevaluating those foundations, those previous projects. It's about reevaluating your commitments, your responsibilities. And I think to a large extent, it is about it's about refinement. And what I mean by this is not making life so hard for yourself to a large extent. And that's really interesting because right now, the day that this is happening, the full moon is happening in Capricorn, and it's near Saturn and Neptune for you in your fourth house. What a time to go, hey, you know what? Yeah, I don't want to make life harder for myself. I want to maybe let go of a few expectations and standards in which I physically can't do it. But then again, it could be an opportunity for you to think more so along the lines of what your aspirations are, what your ambitions are, what do you want to be successful within? How can you rise to the occasion, right? There's also that happening at the same time. Yeah, I hope that was helpful. I have no idea how long I spoke for. Honestly, I don't know, but I hope it was helpful. Yeah, David, there's more. Hey, there's more I could say. But these are mini readings, and I gotta think about it that way too. Yeah, so the last message you sent was 7:18. Yeah, that's a mini reading. That is a mini reading. But thank you so much, David. I hope that was helpful. Ha. Let's see. Oh, Dean. So the instructions are down below. Yeah, the instructions are down below. So the ways in which you book is you go to the link and then I'll need your time of birth, date of birth, place of birth for your mini reading. And to confirm, everybody, if you want a full reading with me, you can visit my website, hannahselsewhere.com. Just to highlight that my intention is to guide. I am a projector in human design. I'm here to guide. I'm here to support. This is very much about me helping you work with your energy and helping you see blocks, helping you see any limitations, but also drawing from your strengths. So, yeah, I would say, great, David. That's amazing. Amazing. Great. I just think that for you, with all of that sixth house influence, especially with the North Node, a big area of focus for you is to consider your health, your wellness, thinking about your exercise routines, dietary requirements. Also, a big part of that is about maybe greater flexibility at work or aligning with really what is healthy for you more emotionally and spiritually work wise. Okay. Great. Great. Yes. So, yeah, as I say, as a projector, I am here to guide. And if anybody else wants to book, I'm open. But after, I think I'll take one more and then I'm going to stop for this particular session. Because I'm trying to think about my energy. Do I have the energy? If not, it's all fine. It's all groovy. It's all groovy because then I can chill. Oh, balance. Yeah. See, that's what Libra's all about. Libra is about balance. Yeah. That is interesting because Uranus right now, and it's making a square to the North Node for you. It'll get stronger over the next while. So I do think that there is something about breakthroughs and changing your habits, changing your patterns. Then maybe that breakthrough is, or those breakthroughs are what can help you become more aligned, become more balanced, so to speak. And Jackie, okay, no problem, Dean, no problem, great. And Jackie, no problem as well. I'll just wait for you and then we'll see how I get on. I'll see how I feel after your reading, if I want to take another one or I will call it a day. Okay. Great. I can probably take two more. Two more, two more, two. Yeah. Do. If not, it's all good. I can get going. Yeah, so I'll give it maybe a couple more minutes and then sure, that'll be me for this particular session. I might come back on Sunday because I'm thinking Sundays are a much better day. And then if any of you want to book on my website in the meantime, you can do that. Let's just see. Hello to unknown. All good, thank you. Hope you're doing good today as well. Reminder, I'm just going to say this again for anybody else who maybe didn't catch it, but there is going to be a video all about White Moon Selena through the signs tomorrow night. And then on Saturday, White Moon Selena through the houses on Saturday. yeah. Yeah, thanks, David. Oh dear. I'm really starting to second guess my decision because it's warm. Like you probably know yourself. It's warm. Oh dear. I know, Jackie, you were saying about booking, so I'm being a bit patient to see if you're gonna book or not, but if not, that's okay too. Just let me know. I wouldn't be offended. And it means I can get going. There have been times in the past when I've left and then someone else has booked and then I've done the reading basically for them, off camera. So that has worked well in the past. Oh, yes, goals to make in yoga and fitness. Awesome. Well, that wishing you all the best with that because that would be really in alignment with all of your sixth house influence with especially the North Node in Pisces. Oh dear. You're gonna have hot chocolate. Oh my gosh. Let me see here. Irish Ryan, the flag. Yeah, so that is my partner's flag. It's from Hell, Hell Divers? Sorry. Have you heard of Hell Divers before? It's It's a video game. Yeah, it's a video game. I personally don't play it, but he does, and he really enjoys it. So it's from his team or something. Though you see, we're talking about video games. Yeah, the new Grand Theft Auto got pushed back another year. Like what? It's going to be crazy though whenever it's finally released. I will give it 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Or should I just wait till 8 o'clock? I might leave it now. I might leave it now. Yeah, it is. It is very. This is very cool blue. Mm-hmm. And then there's little like small like squishy ball things from McDonald's in the other corner. We have so many of those. Well, everybody, I think I'm going to leave it here because it's been a wee minute since Jackie was saying, and if anybody else does book in and I'm gone, I can always email you your reading that way. So there is that. And I may be back on Sunday. That could actually be a better day. It usually is a better day for readings on a Sunday. Yeah, I'm gonna get going. Gonna go and get some food and chill. Okay, thank you so much anyway, everybody, for being here. It has been great to read your charts. I appreciate it. Hope you find them to be helpful, and I will keep this video up so then you can watch it. You can watch your reading. So it'll be available for you essentially. Thank you everyone so much, and I will talk to you soon.